Yo, welcome back to another episode of On Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and today's episode we're joined by a very special guest, current professional hockey player with the Watertown Wolves, Josh Tomasi. He was my teammate this year in Watertown. Before he joined into the Federal Prospect Hockey League with the Watertown Wolves, he played in the NOJHL with the Blind River Beavers and the Elliott Lake Red Wings, and he also had some time in the FPHL before going the professional route. But even before that, he played with the Cleveland Barons organization over where he's from in Cleveland. So I'm really excited to have Josh Tomasi on the podcast, aka Tommy Nux. So I'm really glad to have you on. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me out here.
Yeah, of course. But to start things off, you're here in Watertown for a couple days, and you're leaving tomorrow. But we spent the last 5 days training, doing a lot of the fun stuff we did over the season. What has summer been like for you?
Summer's been, pretty low key. Obviously, going back home, I have a job back home, and then obviously I'm training throughout the summer too. So, I'm really busy in the summer, and then obviously mixing and fishing in there as well. So, just working, training, fishing, and just kind of enjoying my off time and getting ready for next season. So, just keeping it simple and trying to relax and stuff like that.
Yeah, you got to include the fishing in there. That's your go-to.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
a big part of my life. Obviously, you would know. I was always gone fishing. But mostly working and getting better in the off season. Obviously, is huge.
What has training been like for you for the summer? What do you do over the summer to get better?
Actually, training starts for me tomorrow, but I'm missing it obviously due to having to drive back home. But
I think we did train here.
We did train here, so it's fine. But skate 3 times a week. I play in a summer league. It's called the Summer Elite League. My skills coach, Russ Sinkowicz, back home. He's former pro player, AHL, signed an NHL deal when he was playing. Created a highly competitive summer league that all of Cleveland's top players play in and train, and it's obviously we skate and skill stuff too, but it also it's good to get in that game shape too. So that's what that is. I play in that, and I also skate with him in the mornings 3 times a week, just skills and flow practices. But yeah, that's just kind of my summer in the off season, and obviously in the gym and stuff. So in terms of skating, just that stuff. Yeah.
I'm sure the Summer Elite League helps you stay in game shape and all that.
Yeah, obviously, we had guys, that are playing in the NHL, played in the NHL, in the American League, all that good stuff. So, keeps you in game shape, makes you better. You also can learn so much from those guys as well. Yeah. So, it's great to learn from them and watch them play, and it's also, it's good, become buddies with them. So.
Yeah, that's the best part about hockey is just how close-knit the community is. Doesn't matter if you're playing the NHL, the AHL, the Fed. You're all buddies at the end of the day, and there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. You're all hockey players. You all joke about the same things. You all do the same things. Live the same lifestyle. So it doesn't matter if you're making $1 million or $100 you're playing for free. You're all doing the same thing, and so.
Yeah, so you grew up outside of Cleveland, just outside of Cleveland. So, what was youth hockey like for you growing up?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I played for a AAA program. It was good. I have nothing but I made great memories playing there. I don't think it really matters where you play. Honestly, when you're younger, if you're good enough, you'll be found. Yeah. But it was good. I made great friends, and I still talk to them today. So. I played youth hockey, obviously, up till I was 17. I moved away to play junior, so I had a long youth career.
Yeah, so, obviously, everyone has that, 1 to 2 moments where it's, that sticks out in your youth hockey career. Were those moments that stuck out to you?
Definitely when my team, we won double overtime, 1-0 against Pittsburgh Penguins, their elite team, to go to nationals. That was unbelievable. Probably my greatest hockey memory ever was that. We were kind of underdogs the whole district tournament, and somehow, some way we ended up on top. Great memory, awesome. awesome memory. I'll remember that one forever. Yeah, so that's probably my answer for that.
Yeah, and like you played for the Cleveland Barons organization. I know you were gonna go play in Honeybake before, but you just decided to stay in Cleveland instead. So like, what was it like playing in that organization, and like what made you make the decision to stay home instead of going to Honeybaked?
Obviously, I had some guys, I had some phone calls with some good guy, good pro guys, and they said stay home, dominate where you're at. I decided to stay home for another year, and at the end of the day, I wouldn't have changed a thing. I believe you'll be found wherever you play, and so I have no regrets staying home, and it worked out in the long run. But yeah, I stayed home for another year. Obviously, it's nice playing at home. You got your family, you got your friends. Go home, sleep in your own bed. Go to school with all your friends. So it was great, and yeah.
Yeah, like I like how you said like dominate that at your level, because like that's the biggest thing is as you go up the levels, like it's literally the guys that dominate that move up the net at that level that move on to the next level. So like how important was that to hear that from other guys and then just actually do it and then move up after that?
I mean, it's true. A lot of like it sucks to say, but like the reality of it is like if you're not dominating at your level, like what makes you think you're gonna dominate the next level?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, it sucked to hear when I would be like, well, I want to play the next level, which, granted, I was fortunate enough and, blessed enough to be able to, but I wasn't ready for it. You know what I mean? And it sucked to hear, but, it was the best thing for me because I wasn't dominating at my level yet. So what made me think I was going to dominate the next level? You know what I mean? So dominating at your level before moving up to the next level is so important because, it gets you ready for that next level. And, it's the truth. No one wants to hear it, but in the long run, that's what's going to help you out. Is being great at your level, and that's where when kids or anyone wants to move up super quick, stay at your level, dominate your level. Once you dominate your level, someone will find you. Then it's time to move up. But there's no reason to jump and just dominate where you're at.
Yeah, and by doing that, you learn so much. You get the game reps, you get the practice reps. You really develop as a player, which is huge, especially when you want to move up to the level. Like if you're not developed for that next level, you're not going to have that success.
I mean, yeah, like you look at it this way, like if you're a 16-year-old playing junior hockey and you're scratched every night versus playing every other shift in AAA, you know what I mean? Like what's better for you? You know what I mean? Yeah, like you could say you play junior hockey and you're playing junior hockey, but in terms of like the future, what does that look for you? You know what I mean? Like what does it look like for you? You're not developing, so like, yeah, like just like I said, be happy where you're at, like and just dominate where you're at, and then when it's time to move on, you'll be found. So.
Yeah, like yesterday we were talking about like having no regrets. Like you don't regret anything in your career. Like I don't regret anything in my career so far. It's like how important is not having regrets. Like everyone wants to get to that next level as quick as possible, like we just said, but not having regrets and like going to like what's actually going to make you develop and be successful.
I mean, I don't say I have any regrets because I'm truly happy where I'm at.
Yeah.
But there was a few things I would probably do differently. Is like, oh, you don't want to like. I was always love to train stuff, but like, I don't want to go to the gym today. Well, like, what if I did? Or you know what I mean? Like we're like, and like I'm not even talking about like where I'd be at now. It's like, well, that would just help me dominate where I'm at now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I would have went to the gym or I would have done this, I could even be better at the level I'm at now. But like that's what I would if I would have to give advice is like don't be satisfied. You know what I mean? Like there's someone always better than you. There's someone always coming for your spot. Like don't be satisfied. If you have a great game, try to have 2 great games. If you have 2 great games, like try to never be satisfied. And then if you're never satisfied, you will probably have no regrets because you'll keep pushing yourself and getting to the next level. So yeah, that was my number one. One of my coaches told me one time is to never be satisfied, no matter what, and there's always something you could achieve more. So
Yeah.
if you're never satisfied and you keep working, you should have no regrets.
Yeah, and like if you get comfortable, you get complacent, and then that's when people take your spot. You see less playing time, stuff like that, because you're too comfortable.
Yeah.
But if you're pushing yourself every day to get better and being uncomfortable, that's where you really succeed at.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously in youth hockey it wasn't really a thing, but in junior hockey and then obviously in pro, like, it is a thing, you know, like people are coming for your spots, you know, regardless if they're on their team or not.
Yeah.
Like, everyone wants to be, you know, that guy. Everyone wants to be the guy the coach can trust. Everyone wants to be, which is great. That's what keeps it competitive.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, there's, you know, like I said earlier, like, you got to keep working or else someone's going to come get your spot. Whether it's a job, whether you're getting paid or not, like, you know what I mean? Like, it is a job. Like, you have to take it seriously, and, you know, you got to keep pushing through. And, you know, like, again, I said, like, you can't be satisfied, because if you are, you know, someone's coming.
Yeah.
You know, regardless if it's the opponent, another guy below the level before you, like, you know, yourself mentally, you know what I mean? Like, you can't ever be satisfied.
Your job's always on the line.
No, exactly. No, exactly. Like, I don't care if it goes for, you know, Connor McDavid, the lowest level. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, it doesn't matter how good you are. Like, you know, you got to perform, and you know, no one's perfect, obviously, but you know, you can't control. You know, your hands might not feel good, your feet might not feel good, but you can always control how hard you work. So, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, exactly. And so then after your youth hockey career comes to an end, you go on to the USP, where you play with the Aviators first in New York, right?
Yeah.
So, like, what was that transition going from youth hockey to junior hockey? Like, how'd you find the Aviators in the USP?
So how I found them was I went to the London Knights training camp, and when I was 17, and I went to the Moncton Wildcats training camp when I was 17 as well, like literally back to back, and it didn't work out obviously. And then the London Knights general manager knew the Aviators coach, so, and then I also skated I also skated with, not the general manager, the scout that got me to the London's camp.
Yeah.
So he texted, you know, the coach at Avery, and was like, hey, I got this young kid, like, doesn't want to play youth, like, AAA, and wants to play junior. So I got there. I had great memories, like, off the ice. In terms of, like, playing, it sucked, honestly, mentally. Like, the organization was great, but it was a hard transition for me. Like, I wasn't playing much. I was 17. It was the first time, like, we had a really good team. First time I've ever, like, not played.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, the first time I got scratched, like, I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? I was like, I didn't know what to do. It was like my world was shook. I'm away from home. I'm scratched. You know, and in junior, like, it's not like, oh, the coach isn't babying you, right? He's not gonna be like, oh, like,
it's okay.
Like, what's wrong? Like this is why you're, like, not playing. So, you know, I didn't get an answer, and then I couldn't believe it, and then, you know, it kept happening. I'd play a few shifts here, a few shifts there, and it sucked. You know, as a hockey player, you want to play. You always, you know, you want to be on the ice, and you know, but at the same time, it was like, looking back now, I'm 22 years old. Like, it was an unbelievable, like, learning curve for me in terms of, like, it doesn't matter where you came from. Like, it doesn't matter how good you were there. Like, it doesn't matter how good you were last game. Like,
yeah,
it's now. You know what I mean? And if you're not performing, you're just not going to get that ice time. And that's what I was taught. And, you know, I think my mindset definitely shifted to, you know, you thought you were good, which, okay, like, cool, but it doesn't matter anymore. You know what I mean? Like, so that helped me, you know, unbelievably. Like, it was so important in my development, and, you know, I'm glad I got to go through that.
Yeah, so were you just, like, working your bag off in practice after that just to, like, try to get looks from the coaches, and then obviously you want to improve yourself and really put yourself in the lineup?
Yeah, obviously I was working hard. You know, I was talking to my advisor, like, and he kind of explained to me, he's like, well, you're 17, you know, like, my team was full with 20, like,
yeah,
good 20-year-olds, right? Like, So like what, like there's not much I could do. Just keep working hard, and so I did, and obviously years passed, and I obviously got out of that slump, and it was fine. But in the moment it sucked, but that's kind of what you need sometimes, is to go through the tough stuff. So
yeah, it also builds your mental toughness, and then you're obviously like you've gone through the shit, so like you know what to do to work yourself out of that, and like there's always going to be a way to work yourself out. It just is a matter of time, and if you really have like the compete and the battle to overcome that.
Yeah, like obviously, like nothing's ever awesome all the time. Nothing ever sucks all the time. Right?
Highs and lows all throughout the season.
Yeah, so like sometimes it's all low one season, sometimes it's all high one season, sometimes it's highs and lows. You just gotta know like it will get better, and when it does get better, you gotta know too it's gonna get worse at some points. So you gotta stay level headed all the time. And I think that comes with like obviously growing up a little bit as like not even as a hockey player, just like as a person. You kind of get like nothing's ever gonna be 100% great. But like that, like I said earlier, like that year was so important to me. In terms of like developing me like as like a person and like a player, like that, like realizing that like it's not gonna, it is highs and lows, and that's just the reality of hockey. It's the reality of life. So if you can find a way to stay level headed, you're all good.
Yeah, that's huge to learn. And then like you obviously go through the USP, and then you find your way in the NOJHL with the Elliott Lake Red Wings for your first couple stints in the NOJ. So like, what was it like getting to Elliott Lake, because it's in a whole different country?
Let me tell you, buddy.
Tell me.
Elliott Lake was unbelievable. I'm going to say this for Elliott Lake and Blind River, because I obviously played for two teams in the NOJ.
Yeah.
But I would say Northern Ontario, best 2 years of my life. Met my girlfriend there. We're still together. She's actually in the
right
room.
Behind us.
Yeah, right behind us. Yeah, right there. By far best fishing I've ever done in my life.
Can't forget about the fishing.
Yeah, met great people. Still, great billets. Great, friends and all that stuff. I have nothing but great things to say about there. It was awesome time up in the NOJ. I would, at least again, like, I love to fish, so it's not a big deal. Like, there's nothing, I can't say, oh, you should go play in the NOJ, because if you like to go to the mall every day, well, you can't go to the mall. But, like, in terms of if you love the outdoors and stuff, like, the NOJ is the place to be. So, yeah.
Northern Ontario. Yeah. What a place.
Yeah, unbelievable, yeah.
Yeah, but you're also an assistant captain there as well. So, like, what would you learn from a leadership standpoint to really, like, help your team and just, like, to help the younger guys out?
I think a lot of people who, when they get like a letter on their body, tend to change how they act, and that's kind of like before you had that letter on, you after you get the letter on, you got to act like you still don't have the letter on, if that makes sense. Like, just be yourself, be how you always were, because obviously the reason why you have the letter is because how you were, right? So like, don't change anything. It's almost like you don't have a letter on, and honestly, like, to be honest with you, you don't need a letter to be a leader on. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously, when the refs want a leader, they find someone with a letter. But I played with guys where I could not believe they didn't have a letter. You know what I mean? Like, it's you'd always be a leader no matter if you have a letter or not. But yeah, I obviously had a letter up there, and I led my team up there. I was one of the older guys. I learned how to you're more responsible. You learn how to be more responsible too. Obviously, like, the coaches are going to you for stuff to tell the players, and like, so teach you how to be responsible, how to be a leader, obviously, and just all that good stuff. So.
Yeah, and like, I like how you said not to change the type of person you are from not having a letter to a letter, and like just being like the same person, because like everyone's gonna respect you a lot more if you're the same person, because like that's why they chose you to be a captain.
Yeah,
because of how you were before, like you just said.
Exactly, like just be yourself. if you don't talk and you lead by example, don't start talking, right?
Yeah.
Just lead by example.
Lead by example.
If you're a talker, talk. You know what I mean? Like don't change anything. That, just do your thing, and that's just that's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, and that's like one of the biggest things I learned my senior year of high school when I was the captain for my high school team when I was a forward. And that's what a lot of people don't know is that I was captain
And you're also a forward, yeah.
And I was also a forward.
Yeah.
But like you just I never was the talker. I just led by example and led by how hard I worked and going in the gritty places. Like that was my role as a forward, was going in the dirty area. So shockingly, but that's how I played, and you really I didn't really change much besides just keep digging hard and keep working.
Yeah, exactly. Just work hard.
Yeah, but then you go on to Blind River right after your time at Elliott Lake. What was that time in Blind River like, especially with being closer to your girlfriend and then just enjoying the time there in the Noj?
In terms of being closer, like I lived with her. I basically lived with her mother. She was always gone for school. Her dad was obviously working, and her mom's retired. So her mom's got an awesome cupcake business. Go check out Buttercream Boutique if you haven't heard of it.
Shout out Shelly.
Yeah, shout out Shelly Shamus. Awesome. What, your mother's want to shout out? Okay, awesome cupcakes. I basically, was like her cupcake tester living in Blind River. Awesome time there. Again, fishing, hockey. Is my dream come true, you could say, in terms of life. So it was awesome there. Similar to LA Lake, obviously only 30 minutes away, but it was great place to be.
Yeah, what was that transition going from the USP to the NOJHL? Did you notice any difference, or was it pretty similar?
I mean, the difference between, I would say, the USP and the NOJ is, for the most part, all the teams in NOJ are good.
Yeah.
Right? Like, in USP, you have
good
great teams, and then you have teams that are, not so good. So, most teams in the leagues in the NOJ are good. You're playing way more games. Way more games. You're playing, Wednesday nights, Tuesday nights, versus, USP...
Friday, Saturday,
Sunday.
Yeah. You're
playing more of a pro schedule versus, the weekend schedule. That's about it. I think it was a little bit harder, in physically harder, the way the game was played. But it was similar. Just I would say most teams were more even, different schedule, and then a little bit more of a different style of play.
Yeah. So then you end your career in Blind River before making that jump to the professional ranks, which you played this past season with the Watertown Wolves, and obviously for this coming season you're with the Watertown Wolves as well. So what was your first year of professional hockey like in the Fed?
It was awesome. I had some great opportunities, great memories. I checked a lot of bucket list things to do. Obviously, one thing that stands out for me is playing in Binghamton on in front of 5,000 people. That's pretty neat experience. That was one thing I'd love to check off, is playing in front of a big crowd. Another thing is living on my own with the boys. That's so much different. It's so much more fun. Don't get me wrong, I had a great time with Bills, but living with the boys, so much fun. That was awesome. Being playing for such a great fan base and organization. Unbelievable.
Best fan base in the league.
Oh, by far. It's not even close. We have, the smallest rink in the league, but, it's jam tight, so.
Greatest boosters, greatest management,
boosters,
fans, everything.
Owners, GMs. So we had, the greatest, it was awesome. I'm extremely excited for, this upcoming year.
Yeah, so go your first year in the Fed. Obviously, it's a transition from junior hockey into the professionals. What did you learn from jumping into the professional ranks to really get you acclimated to the pro game?
I mean, if you want me to be honest, I learned something real quick.
Yeah, do it.
Obviously, fighting Daniel Amsbury in my second game. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say about that. That was quite the experience, quite the force I felt in my face.
Tommy Knox, that's why you got your name now.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm actually like I watched a video of it, like the mic'd up video every once in a while. And I still laugh. It's funny to me that I just stood there and acted
You
like
just blacked out.
No, I didn't black out. Trust me, I felt every one of those punches. But yeah, obviously, it was great to fight a guy like that. It's super cool. To kind of blow up too, go viral. Obviously, I never talked to Amesbury, but he's obviously I know he's a great guy on and off the ice, and I'd love to have a conversation with him about it and see his side of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was awesome. It kind of gave me a job too, to be honest with you. That was kind of my role. Obviously, you look at that video and this kid doesn't fight. Obviously,
yeah.
But I mean,
that was your first fight in pros,
dude. I mean, I fought I was fighting a professional boxer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously, that was bound to happen. But and there's not many guys that don't.
Yeah.
That Amesbury doesn't do that to. He does it to everyone, which he's a great fighter, But that was kind of gave me my my role, I guess. Obviously I scored still and stuff, but I always protected my teammates. Fought and that kind of gave me a spot to always have, and I enjoy it too. I enjoy fighting. I think it belongs in the game.
Yeah.
I think it's keeps the game safe. Obviously, the refs can only do so much.
Yeah.
The players got to police the game out there. So, yeah, that obviously was awesome. Luckily I still have my teeth and I'm able to function. But yeah, that kind of was a quick taste of it. Then obviously I kind of just got used to it ever after that.
Yeah, and you got 10 goals on the year. So what was it like getting that first professional goal out of the way? I think it was in Bingo too.
Yeah, I was in Binghamton. Obviously, it wasn't as cool as I thought it was gonna be, just because we lost and it kind of it sucked. It doesn't matter what you do in the game. Personally, you still lost.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Obviously my mom and my family was watching it, so I'm glad they got to see it and stuff, and it was cool. And then that kind of checked another thing off, as score professional goal. So, but it doesn't matter. We lost, and that's that's what that night was about. Was trying to find a regroup and get back to the. I think we played the next day.
Yeah.
So that's it. Goal didn't matter. It was whatever. But it was still cool.
Yeah. What goes into your shot? Because I've faced a lot of shots, and you have probably one of the hardest shots I've ever seen and I've ever taken. So what goes into your shot? How do you shoot so hard?
I think I spent a lot of time as a kid shooting pucks. I shot pucks for fun. People did this for fun.
Yeah.
Go out, hang out with their friends for fun. As nerdy as it sounds, that was my fun. You know what I mean? I would go outside and I'd shoot pucks every day, all day. In the middle of summer, I'd come in soaking wet with sweat. I was at my grandpa's house. I shot pucks at my grandpa's house in his garage, and that's kind of what I did in the summer. I just shot pucks, and that's how I passed my time. And obviously, I think I'm blessed with that's the skill set of that. But I also think I put a lot of pucks were shot in that garage, and a lot of work went into it. Blisters on my hands, all that stuff. To kind of get where it's at today. So yeah, just consistency and just working.
Yeah, exactly. I love that, because you truly do have one of the hardest shots I've ever seen. So
I mean, yeah, if I could hit the net a little bit more, I'd probably work better. But I mean, I don't think I was.
There's always next year.
Yeah, exactly. I've been saying that for 20 years. But hopefully next year I can hit the net more.
Yeah. What are you most excited for going into next year?
Obviously, just to play again. Like season ends, you're sad,
Yeah.
but you go home, see your friends and family, and it's awesome, seeing your friends and family. But like, you just want to get back so bad. You know what I mean? Like you miss the boys, you miss playing.
Yeah.
Obviously, like another chance to win. Every year's a different chance to win. Super excited. So far the group we got coming in, it's a lot of the same.
Yeah.
A lot of the same group, and we had a great group last year. Super talented group. I'm super excited to get this year going again. Another chance to win, like I said,
Yeah.
and just play again.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good year. Gonna
Yeah,
be exciting.
I'm actually fired up, man. Like I can't wait. I'm super excited. Yeah, obviously play.
Yeah, me too. But before we wrap this episode up, I have the questions that the boys were asking from Instagram. So how about we get into it?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So we did biggest transition from juniors to the Fed, right? We kind of covered that. But
Yeah.
So then the next one is, how many fights did you win?
I think I fought like 15 times this year, roughly around 15 times. It might have been a little bit lower, might have been a little bit higher. I think truly, I'm not just saying this because obviously everyone's about to boost their ego a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I lost 2 fights and I tied 1. I would
Very
say
hot.
Schultz, I lost Ansbury. Me and Pozar fought once. It was a pretty good one. I would say pretty even. And then I'd say I'd won most of them, maybe tied a few more. I don't really remember.
You won one more than you lost.
Yeah, let's say
Just
that.
say
We'll say that. Yeah.
Next one is favorite teammate from 23-24.
Okay,
I mean, that's a hard one.
I'm not about to say that because you can't say that.
No.
You know what I mean? I loved all the boys. I love all
That's
the
a good
boys.
answer.
All the boys are awesome. I will say this though, the funniest guy, there's I loved everyone. Everyone was great. The funniest guy, Nico Hemming. That guy is the funniest guy. One of the funniest guys I've ever played with.
Pull up his elite prospects.
He's a character.
All about the elite prospects.
Yeah, loves elite prospects. Got his elite prospects glued to his Safari. Funny guy. But I loved everyone on the team last year. It was a great group of guys.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Favorite pranks of 2023-24 season.
Not going to get into this one for reasons, but everyone at the Roxy knows what I'm talking about. Let's just say, 4th of July. That should give a hint. I'm not going to get into it, but, obviously all those were awesome.
Perfect answer. Next one is, what's it like playing with Lord and Leeson? Pretty sure Lordo asked this one.
Yeah, Lord, good player, obviously. Both awesome players.
Yeah.
Leeson's always out there looking for some cheese, little rat he is.
He's a sewer rat, too.
Such a beauty.
He's a rat in sewer.
Lordo's a great guy.
Yeah.
Leeser, one of the biggest beauties I've played with. Great player. Both good players. Loved playing with them. Loved watching them. Leeser, man. Leeser cracks me up. He's a great guy. Went up to the ECHL this year.
Yeah.
Super talented player. Super great guy. Funny guy too. Funny guy to be around. Funny guy to mess with. And
such a rat in sewer.
Yeah. Don't stand next to him in sewer because you'll probably be out in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But awesome guy. Awesome guys. Tate Leeson, what a beauty.
Yeah. Why do you like getting punched in the face?
Ned Lord asked for that too.
Yeah.
I don't actually. I mean, I don't think anyone does. But I don't know. I just enjoy fighting.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. It gets the crowd going. Gets everyone riled up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah.
How did the fight with Amesbury make you feel?
Physically, not good. I couldn't eat for a week. I went to Longhorn like a few days later, and I couldn't even enjoy my steak because my teeth felt like they were gonna fall out. Definitely had a concussion, obviously. Like if you watch the video or anyone watched the video, like no one's walking away with that like concussion on that. But like in terms of like, you know, obviously he's the top.
Blew up.
Yeah, he's the top dog, right? Like
Yeah.
he's the top top dog when it comes to the fights, and once you fight a guy like that, you kind of, you can't get any worse. What I'm saying, so, obviously super glad I got that out of the way and fought a guy like that. So it made me a lot better in terms of like that skill set.
Yeah.
And a lot more fearless, you can say, I guess.
Fearless. I
Yeah,
like
I guess.
that. All right. Best memories of 622 and being with the boys.
Who is this? This is you. Dude, this is you.
That is
Okay,
not me.
okay. 622. Probably when I almost lit the whole house on fire. Do you remember that?
How can I not?
When Pav got like extremely pissed off, he's like, "Kid, are you serious?" What
Kid, you almost lit the house
Carly,
on
what
fire.
did I do?
I don't remember.
No, you burned a napkin, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And then you put it in the
So
trash can.
I wanted to light this candle, and I took the candle so far down that like I couldn't reach the lighter without like burning myself. So I lit the I know this is crazy. I lit the napkin to like try to like put it down, but it didn't work. So obviously I blew it out super fast.
I did the same thing.
Oh,
So I
like boyfriend, like girlfriend.
yeah, I guess we do the same thing.
But nobody was there.
Yeah, you did do the same thing. But I was when I did this, people were there. So I blew it out real quick, and I put it in the trash can. It's out, right? Not a big deal. All of a sudden, I'm in my room, and Vladislav Pavlov, one of our teammates, freaks out because this trash can starts smoking. And obviously, like I thought it was out, but I guess the ashes started to like I almost lit the whole house on fire.
I've never heard this.
So yeah, that was funny. 622.
We did the fishing line prank on Toy Boy.
Yeah, we tried to, Toy Boy had a kind of trying to get us to run in the fishing line. Obviously, like,
Just being with the boys.
yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. A lot of good memories. So yeah.
Yeah. We got two more. Next one is go to post practice fast food chain.
Wednesdays, Burn Dairy, Dollar Sliders. Obviously that's good.
Gotta go to the daily buffet too.
Oh, 4 things. Wednesdays, Dollar Sliders, Burn Dairy, daily buffet, Chinese food with the boys. Unreal. Chipotle, I didn't get Chipotle that much after practice because I was usually starving and wanted to eat as much as I could. Or Chick-fil-A.
I was definitely going there 3 times a week.
Where?
Chick-fil-A.
I wasn't going to Chick-fil-A that often. I like Chick-fil-A a lot, but I don't know, it's kind of expensive. Obviously, Burn Dairy. Lifesaver, chocolate milk from there.
Unreal.
Chocolate milk, food, open 24 hours. Kind of save our lives a lot of the times, but yeah.
Yeah, I think Kaz, Gamzee, and I went to Chick-fil-A 3 times a week. Probably not good for us, but
Yeah,
it was
probably
unreal food.
What do you mean probably?
What do you mean?
It's horrible for you.
It is.
I'm just
But it's still good.
It's great, yeah. It's good for your soul.
Exactly. Last one is favorite memory of Watertown so far. It's a tricky question there.
My favorite memory in terms of like has nothing to do. It has something to do with hockey, but it has nothing to do with playing. Me, Dakota Seaman, Nico Hemming, Carly was there. They were in Virginia, and this is when we were like super like we had like Virginia had to we had to beat Virginia. Binghamton had to beat Elmira.
You were suspended.
I was suspended. Seamer suspended. Nico stayed back. we were all watching bingo that night. Like that game. Obviously, we were watching our game back and forth. Our game was out of hand. Like we were up by like time, so whatever. But Binghamton needed Elmira to.
We need
Elmira to lose in regulation. So we were watching it and we were like, oh my gosh, like, we were so sick to our stomachs because Elmira was winning. And we were like, it doesn't matter what we did. Like, if they win, we're out.
We're done.
We're out of the playoffs. So somehow, some way, Binghamton came back and all the boys and us were watching. And when Binghamton beat Elmira, when they scored to go ahead,
with 50 seconds
left, me and the boys at the Roxy erupted. Because if we would have won, if they won, we'd make playoffs. So it's obviously a huge, huge deal. Like, we needed this game to win. So when they scored, I know it sounds crazy because we're cheering for another team to win, but obviously in our situation, that's what we need to make playoffs. When they scored, I can't explain how loud the Roxy bar got, but I remember flying outside and screaming in the middle of outside because we were just so hyped. Like, we're making playoffs. Like, we're going for a run this year. Like, it doesn't matter during the season, like the stats or whatever. Like, everyone's on a clean slate. Like, we're
playoffs are the best time.
Yeah, like we're making a run this year, and I'm so excited for next year to make another run. Obviously, all that good stuff. So that was the laptop.
But that was a good time, stressful time, but super good time when we found out that we're making the playoffs.
I was fired up. I was super, super excited. And obviously I was super excited to play again. Obviously my suspension ended that night.
Yeah.
So if we didn't make playoffs, I obviously wouldn't. I would have ended the season on suspension. But I was so excited. Like the game one, I was so amped up. Obviously it's playoffs. I'm
just so fired up.
I haven't played in 4 games, which I was so excited. Yeah. And obviously it's playoffs, and we were going for a run. So I'm super excited for this year too. Obviously another chance to win and all that good stuff. So
I'm looking forward to next season. I'm super excited and super pumped up to start things up again. But Josh, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate your time. Let's go do something next year.
Yeah, for sure, buddy. Thanks for having me.